Hello again. Today I have a recap of a game game Stratego against Lanke Omerta, whom is another YouTuber, CRT Back. I will put a link to his channel in the description. What happened in the game was very unfortunate for me because basically everything that could go wrong went wrong. I played two games against him. The first one I lost, the second one I won. I will put both of them on YouTube. Uh, the game start. Well, first I will say something about my setup. This is something I prepared right before the game, and I didn't really pay much attention to it. I mainly put it to autofill. I just put here my marshal, my general, my colonel, my spy, bombs, and the flag and the sergeant. That's all I did, and the rest was just filled up. And the problem of it is that my setup doesn't make sense at all. First of all, I even though I blocked my sergeant, I think that's okay. There's way too many bombs in here. I shouldn't have done that. I should have put some bombs even in here. That's the first problem, but this one was my own fault. The other problem is that I don't really have access to many scouts in the middle. I have 4 here, 2 here, 1 here, which is very little when you want to scout mainly in the middle. So I should have probably took this captain, put it here, and the scout here. Maybe the same with the lieutenant. Maybe I could put it here. There it would be even protected by major. So yeah, and also it's very balanced setup. I had no idea what to expect from my opponent, how good he was or anything. I had my marshal and general close to the play in the second row because he might be marshal blitzer, he might be loader. I wasn't really sure. So this setup is like the power pieces are very universal. The major here, I wanted to put it there because if I would play against, let's say, a weak player, then sacrificing my major for intel would be great. And if I would play against a good player, then I would find some intel, and he might have his marshal or general in the back or somewhere unexpected, so I might get even some more pieces. Therefore, sacrificing major is like universally a good strategy against all types of opponents. Okay, let's check out the game. I started with the major. He went up with some piece. I didn't want to take the first piece with my major. I wanted to first know what can I expect from him. So I went up with my sergeant and decided to trade it. So sergeant in the first row, not bad. I went. Oh, sorry. He discovered my major, which is not ideal. So I went right in, and here he made a really good move. He went back. During the game, I thought, okay, this might be a lieutenant or something weak that I can capture eventually, but it was actually a pretty good bluff because this is a power piece, and he wanted to lure me in so he could at some point bluff this was a weak piece that I forgot or something, and then he could take my major. So that was really good on his part. I went up because I thought I was trapping weak piece, and he started playing on the other side. I decided that I can't really do anything here, and he might do something. So now he went up, and I figured, okay, now is as good time as any to attack the piece. But the problem with it is it was a good piece. So I lost the major for very little compensation. I know his colonel, which is something, but that's not good enough. So that was unfortunate. I started playing on the other side and lost a lieutenant to a major. Also not very good. Now I scouted his lieutenant, which I forgot just a few moves later. So yeah, I also wasn't really paying attention to it. Now, I can't really do much with my setup on the right side. The same applies for the left side, so I have to do something in the middle. And I went in with my lieutenant. Since he went with this piece all the way down here, that told me that that was not a good piece. I thought it was a lieutenant, but it was just a minor. But so yeah, not very good, but not bad. We did some shuffling, and then things in the center started happening. We traded lieutenants, and now he went in with this piece. It was next to minor, so I thought it cannot be stronger than major. Uh, it might be a lieutenant or something, but I was pretty sure it was not very good. For that reason, I didn't even scout it. He didn't want me to take it with known surgeon, which tells me that it really isn't a good piece. I went up with captain because I think this might be a good piece. I wasn't really sure how to get my pieces out because I would like to get more scouts. So I can, let's say, scout here or something else that will come up. So I try to like make use, make a room for this scout, but couldn't really succeed with it. I took here with this piece, and I thought before that this was maybe captain or lieutenant, so I thought it was gonna take me, which is alright. But then I wanted to take it with my captain and find out what this piece is, and I think this is a really good piece. He went back, and now is one of the moments where I wish I had more scouts here and my major was someplace else, because I could scout this piece. Took a lieutenant, something will probably recapture me, and it's another major. So now I know a lot of his low pieces, but I am down a captain and a major. I know two of his majors, colonel, and well, I should know the lieutenant, but I don't, so yeah. I still want to know what this piece is, and I thought during the game it was something good. I think that I believed it was a general, but yeah. As it turns out, it was just a captain. So at least I now know a lot of his middle pieces. I wanna start collecting some of them before I will start forgetting them. And now this really acts like a power piece. So maybe this is a general. I don't think he would bring a marshal in like this. It's pretty unlikely, because once I would know his marshal, then all of these pieces would be huge liabilities. Therefore, he should now not reveal his marshal at all cost. But I believed it was a general, so I didn't hit the captain. Instead, I tried to get my known captain somewhere away. And yeah, now I went in with the scout, at least I wanted to. Again, if my scout was somewhere over here, I could find out what this piece is, but that's not so easy. Yeah, I'm now pushing him away, and I want to find out what this piece, even for a price of lieutenant. Now he found out what the lieutenant was, so I went back. And now this piece, here was lieutenant, here was minor, so this probably isn't anything good. But you still want to be cautious, because when you're playing someone who might be very experienced, they might put like randomly strong piece somewhere next to weak piece, so they could bluff with it effectively. And it was just a minor, which doesn't really give me info on his pieces, but it gives me intel on how he created his setup. He put many weak pieces here, which tells me he doesn't want to be surprising. He doesn't want to put a power piece next to weak pieces, which tells me he should have like ordinary setup. Let's say he would have general right close to spy, or he might have a colonel next to marshal. He had one colonel here, so maybe one of these pieces might be marshal. If he had colonel here, he might have another colonel here, and he might have general here. It tells me that his pieces are relatively protecting each other, because he had major, he had lieutenant, and he had minors. When your protect pieces two level above, that is like the most ordinary and most effective way to do on lower levels. Not saying that my opponent is on lower level, but it's just what I can read from these pieces. Anyway, now I knew these three pieces, and I remembered he had his major here. So what I want to do is I want to go here with my colonel and then go right here and win at least one of the majors. And that's what I did. He came here with this piece, which really acts like a power piece, so I respected it. And now I went to collect one of the majors. He also took my captain with one of his major, but I was very happy to take it with my general. Now I am no longer up intel, but I am not down that much material. I still have just major and scout for 2 captains and sergeant, but I think I understand his setup. During the game I believed his marshal was here and his general was somewhere over here. So when I had my general here, I wanted to eventually go here. Yeah, here I scouted lieutenant, which I already should have known, but I forgot. I wanted to trade these off because both of them are known, or I wanted to find out what these 2 pieces were. I wouldn't really mind either one of those. Now he already knows this general. He knows it came from here, so coming down with a general from this side would be clever. I found his colonel, so now might be a very good time to go in with my general. And since he had both of his colonels here and here, it's very, very likely that either this or this piece was marshal. I don't think he would put marshal here because he would rather have here scouting piece. But this or this would be very sensible. Maybe even somewhere deeper, but I think he would like to keep it closer. So he goes down with this piece, but due to 2 square rule he can't win my colonel. Now I attacked his colonel and he moved back. It's a sensible move, but I still believe this is a power piece and I am now pretty convinced this is his marshal. I don't know for sure. If I had another scout here, I would have definitely used it on this piece, but I can't really do so. I am moving with my colonel back and forth. And now it was an interesting moment, because as I thought, this was just a scout. That's what I thought during the game. So I wanted to make him waste it on this captain, but also I wanted to lure these 2 pieces on this side. I believe his marshal is here. At the moment I thought his general was here, but I wasn't sure, and because I wasn't sure, he bluffed it, so it was a low piece, and then I lost the colonel. That was very instructive on his part. But at the moment I thought his general was here, so I wanted to lure both of the colonel on this side so I could then somehow trap it. When you have 2 same power pieces in the same spot, they become a huge liability. Now, of course, I'm not gonna just give him the captain. And what he's now trying to do is he wants to know what this piece is, and if it's a major or something like that, he wants to take it with both of his colonels. He found just a scout, so not a huge problem, and now he went after it. I could potentially get my marshal out and go after it, but I decided to bluff my colonel as a marshal. It would make sense because my general was here somewhere, and this is let's say middle piece, so it would make sense to have a marshal here. That's why I went in, and if he would have taken this, then I could he might believe this is a marshal. So if he would have took my captain with this colonel, I could take it, and then his other colonel would be trapped. So he shouldn't do that. That would be crazy. He went back, which is sensible move. I attacked it again, and now he might take the captain. Now it would be a relatively decent move, but he was scared that this actually is my marshal and went up. So I saved my captain, and I got both of his colonel here. It's gonna be really hard to get them somewhere else, especially since my general is here, and this is well, I believe this is now a believable marshal. Now, what I did is I went with the captain away, and I wanted to put him someplace safe. I also wanted to know what this piece was. He attacked my colonel. I went back, and he went here. And at this point, because this is unknown piece, I thought that this is something low, maybe to try to bluff me or to find some intel. I just didn't believe at this point this was general, which was a huge mistake on my part, because what I didn't realize at the moment is my general came from over here, and he believes this is my marshal. So it's very sensible to go down with his general. Since I didn't realize it, I took it. Well, I tried to take it. I attacked it, and it was general. And at this point, I was like, okay, I am now down so much material, but I have so much intel. All I have to do is just not forget. And I remember that I believe this was a marshal, so I can work with that. What I want to do now is go after his colonel with my real marshal, and my fake marshal, the colonel, I want to attack it with my I want to attack with my colonel, his general, because he believes it's marshal, and it will make it only more believable. Also, he might try to find out what it is, and I will get one or two lower pieces, and during that time I can go up with my marshal here. So that was my plan. I made the room, I made passage for the colonel, and yep, slowly but surely I was getting to the other side. Also, I believe this was nothing good, and it might be a scout, and I didn't want him to find my colonel. It was a captain, and I decided that I want to trade it. Now, here my real marshal is going in, and I want to get one or both of his colonels. This is easiest way to go. He would go down, and then I might, let's say, go here. If I will do some other things in the meantime, he might not realize in time, and if he will try to Lotto, he will find a bomb. He will find a corner bomb, which would be ideal, because then he would believe this is a corner flag. And when you have a corner flag, or you believe that your opponent has corner flag, it's very likely that this is not a bomb, so at some point he might try to Lotto this bomb. Anyway, he still believes this is marshal, at least I think it. So I don't want to allow him to find out what it is that easily, so I went up. And also I'm slowly but surely coming here. He might now be suspicious that it's my marshal, but so I want to do something with this colonel that he actually would believe that this is my marshal. I don't want him to use the 2 square rule to trade the channels, so I moved. I also brought my marshal very close, and now he moved with this piece. I still believe that this is the marshal. So I went up, and now he gave me a known minor, which I already forgot, so I thought it was just a lieutenant. Anyway, he now found out this wasn't my marshal, so he can be pretty certain this one is, which means if he had spy here, it would be pretty clever to either go up or let's say move somewhere that he could protect his colonel. He didn't do so. I went in because I knew these 2 pieces weren't problematic. And now it's time to collect the colonel. He could now trade the channels, and I would take extra, how is it called, a captain, and then probably something over here. I don't know what it is, but I can probably take it. But he didn't do so. He moved the captain, and I was able to go for his colonel. He also can attack my general again, sorry, my colonel again, but it's not that problematic to take the captain and then run away. So he still tried, and I went for his colonel. He now found his marshal, but it was for price of colonel, so now I am down just 2 captains and 2 lieutenants, but I still have rather huge intel. I believe during the game I thought somewhere over here was his spy, so I wasn't that afraid that his spy would be here, especially since he didn't try to protect his how is it called, his colonel. But I wasn't sure, so I still wasn't planning on risking it. Now he moved his general, so I got a captain for free, and if he would have now attacked me with this piece, I would then be pretty sure that that was his marshal. So if this isn't his marshal and it's just some low piece, then it would be great bluff. He didn't do so, but he went down with his general. I followed because now I want them to be traded. I took a minor, and he loaded lieutenant. I mean, this doesn't really make sense. Objectively speaking, now the material is starting to be very important, so he should trade it, or not trade it, or leave it like that. But lowering a captain when I have so much intel and we are getting in the middle phase where every piece is gonna matter, it's a reckless decision. But it worked out, so I don't know, maybe my opponent read something from my setup. It's possible. Maybe he just didn't want the trades. Anyway, he got lieutenant, which was pretty sad. I found a captain, so I wanted to take it. And then he loaded my spy. And now this is again very reckless, because it's pretty likely that this might be a bomb flag. So yeah, he maybe wanted to sacrifice the captain to find out whether my flag is on this side or on this side, but still I am not really a fan of it. I tried to go for a captain, and he went on the other side using the 2 square rule. And now I hope that at least he would load out this, but he didn't do so. Now he tried to take my captain, but at this point I wanted to trade them before, but now I am down way too much material, so I can't really afford it. So I used, well, I wanted to use the 3 square rule to not do that, but yeah, what can you do? I still didn't want to try them, and I went here with my major, and I wanted to take that piece. I know his colonel, I am pretty sure about this marshal, and I know his general, so I know that I can take this piece. The reason why I didn't take it with my marshal is that I still am not sure about his spy. It might be this or this, but it also might be somewhere over here. And I'm not gonna risk throwing the game for something as low as lieutenant. He now went up with this piece, and when he went up, I thought it was something low, because if it's a marshal, then you don't want to trade them. So when he went up, I figured, okay, that might be the spy and he wants to bluff me, or that might be something low and he wants to again bluff me to leave. Or that might be something low, hoping me to capture it, and that's the spy. Either way, when he went up, I didn't believe it was a marshal. He went closer, I'm not gonna risk it. And now he went here, where you can only do that with marshal. So here I was like, okay, I will happily trade, because I have known marshal, you don't have known marshal. That's a bad call on your part. Also, once the marshal disappears, these two pieces will become liabilities. Also, I didn't believe this was a bomb, because you had colonel here, marshal here, and you don't want to lose the mobility of the marshal through this place, because you want to be able, let's say, to go save your colonel without going in or moving your colonel here. So I was ready to take this. We traded, and now he went here. I tried to trade the colonel, so there would be nothing that could stop me from taking some pieces. He didn't want to, and now I was destined to get all of these pieces. He, on the other hand, wants to get the captain. I didn't want to allow him to do that, at least not easily. If we would trade, then the captain is free to live. Now I get one piece, I will get captain soon. And now he went here with this piece. I thought either it's a minor, sergeant, or a major. It's very unlikely it's a lieutenant or captain, because then it wouldn't really make much sense. This path is blocked, so he wouldn't want to go here, and if he wants to go for my captain, well, trade of captains wouldn't be bad. If he would go with lieutenant, well, that's terrible bluff at all situations when you go bluff with one piece lower. So I thought it was a major or something low. Anyway, I wanted now to get some more pieces, such as this lieutenant. And he attacked, I will go back. He attacked my captain, and if it's a major, then once he take it, I will go up and I will win either the colonel or the major. So I didn't have a problem with it. He went up, so now it means it really wants to take me. So it's probably a major. I went here. He went here, which is correct, because now it types down my colonel. I took his lieutenant, and now he made bad move. The idea is correct, but the execution isn't. He wants to win this captain. This way I can just leave it, and once he takes my general off the board, then I can go down for his captain. But if he would have gone up right here, then I can't really stop him from taking my captain, so I would have to take this piece and hope it was not a major. So it was correct idea to try to remove my general, but the execution was better this way. Anyway, we traded and I went down. Here again, at this point I don't know how to express it. He's down a little bit material. The intel is pretty much the same. He shouldn't Lotto anymore. I mean, since he hasn't found a bomb here yet, it means it's pretty likely that somewhere over here is one. So Lottoing now, it's again very reckless, but he does it anyway, which is, and at this point I was like very surprised, because you definitely shouldn't do that at this point. Anyway, I wanted to trade the colonel, so my major is free to live. We did it. He wants to take my captain. Now I am very sure it's a major. So now I am trying to type him down so he can't Lodo anymore. And here he goes here. He realized that my flag is somewhere over here, but he doesn't know where. He went here, and now I try to make a bluff. That this piece moved. He knows that. He doesn't know what it is. At least I think he doesn't know what it is. But I don't want him to take it. If my flag was here or here, then correct decision would be to take it, and then he can't really go with the miner here. I moved because I wanted to bluff that my flag isn't over here, and he either didn't make assumption of it or he understood and saw through it. Not sure how, but it's always possible. Anyway, he went up with a miner. I thought that I bluffed it pretty effectively, and then he would try to hit this, that I would have something strong here. He still doesn't know my other major, so maybe he'd think it's here or here. So I didn't think much of the miner because I thought he would not go on here. So I went after his captain and I wanted to win it. So now he went here, and at this point it's like there's no reason, at least I believe there's no objective reason to think the flag is here, but my opponent loaded it correctly. I went here, so he'd think that I don't want him to go any closer to these places, but he attacked this place, and I was like, okay, he got it right. So that was unfortunate. Anyway, I know I can stop him, so I can at least bluff that this isn't my flag. And I got a captain, but he took it, which is very unfortunate because he got very lucky with Lotto, and then he found my flag on the first try. Even though I tried to make it look like my flag was anywhere but there. Maybe there's something I am missing, but at least I know for the next, at least I knew for the next game that he likes to put one power piece somewhere close. That was the colonel. It was, I believe, here, and I can expect the same in the next game. Also, he likes to have his pieces protected, so that's another assumption I can make for the next game. And that's all I have for now.